Hello!
Hello!
Okay,
Hello!
yeah.
Scream into the abyss.
Help! Hello!
I
Hi,
think
everybody.
4 is almost stuck in Morph and is getting
Yeah.
very.
Yeah, I'm going to be stuck in like a horrific like bird morph, and I'll just be like screaming in a mockingbird voice. Hello! Hi, everybody. Welcome to Animorphs, Morphs in the Dark, where we're going to be playing Animorphs in Blades in the Dark, using the dice system coined by John Harper, and attending to all the things that will involve teenagers, alien invasions, and changing into your neighbor's dog. So, we are going to be introducing our players initially. Drunkly is usually, of Drunkly Romantic fame, is usually our local alien Andalite, Icon, War Prince Icon, but he will be attending I wanted to call it a matinee, but it starts at 6:30, so I was thinking like it's not really a matinee because it's
Some kind of show.
some kind of show. So you will be experiencing Googly and Light Icon. The icon! The even bigger icons. Anyways, I'm 4. I'll be game mastering today. Abby, would you like to attend to introducing yourself and your character?
I will intend to introducing myself and my character. Hi, I am eating peanuts. My name is Abby, also known as Alligator Frenzy, and I'm going to be playing Kayla, also known as Kay, who is, she doesn't know what's going on. She's a little bit like, she knows, basically, there was
You
an
have
info dump.
context.
Yeah.
You have context that you did not want.
I know everything in context. I didn't want to know. Some random, not strung out person, some person who was an alien bumped into me, and then all of their memories or whatever, I now know. And apparently I can morph into different animals, but it's okay. We're fine.
You're splendid. You're absolutely ready to go. And now we go to Josh, Mr. Wallstorm. Give us a gleam into Gavin's new life as half boy, half dog.
Well, I mean, he's still both. Like it was like that. I just don't want to be stuck in like.
Okay,
You know.
not stuck in half morph.
Yeah. But yeah. So I don't think he's wearing pants right now though.
We skipped that scene.
Oh.
Everybody was having a panic attack
Yeah.
after
Yup.
witnessing a dog just sort of like
Yeah.
into
I feel like didn't Kay like
Or like
throw
a
clothes
pants
over his waist?
attack.
yeah, you threw like the couch cushion over him.
Right. And it
Of
was
the
just like,
camper.
yeah. But yeah, Gavin morphed into the neighbor's dog, and he's kind of the jokester of the group, but also has a sense that something really strange is going on, and is not liable to trust many people he doesn't know.
Mm. And one of them being the alien Icon, who, while looking for the Esquivel device, encountered you all and gave you a brief rundown on, generally everything after his team crash landed onto planet Earth. And the only one who hasn't really experienced the joy of acquiring morphs and morphine is Angel. Give us a idea on what that's like, Simon.
Hello, my name is Simon, Lucia Libris. Yes, I'm playing Angel, who is the Battleborn, the sort of playbook that takes the most to the intensity of the morphing experience and finds a real adrenaline rush in the ability to become an animal. Angel has not yet become anything yet and hasn't picked up any morphs. We'll see how that goes this time around. but he is doing his best to keep everyone together and be a rock for Kay in this trying time, and maybe keep Gavin from shooting his mouth off too much, and figuring out what's going on with this whole alien war situation.
No doubt. So we're going to jump right into it. Last time, as we've sort of like alluded to, a bunch of Andalites crashed after a battle in the Earth's orbit, and they took heavy losses, including lots of debris that was scattered around the surrounding area of this local campground resort. Our 3 players and their families were sort of going into this neighborly like group weekend vacay, and they discovered the Esquivel device. They acquired the ability to morph. Some of them got certain creatures, like a bug, a beetle, and a local dog. But upon meeting Icon, they got a rundown. You guys will know. We won't be able to play that part out. We're going to skip ahead a few days as we enter the downtime phase of the first score. And we are going to essentially come into this like section of the game where you guys essentially have the say of what you want to do next and how you want to approach the new situation that you are aware of. And that situation, as Icon will tell you in a scene that we may flashback to later on in future games, you guys understand that Yerks, who are slug-like aliens that can take control of whatever other organic being they are able to enter via earhole, they are able to take control and meld with the creature's brain, thereby controlling them indefinitely. At least it would be indefinitely if it wasn't for a very particular nutrients, vitamin Candrona, which they do not get from our sun, and in fact need to return to a hub of sorts, a Yerk pool, in which they can revitalize themselves so that they do not starve, quite literally.
It's like an Uber pool, but for...
It's like it's like you need your vitamin D, and you just need to oil yourself up.
Do you tip? How do you tip after a Yerk pool? Is it the same as an Uber pool, or like need a?
I no. Yerks are privileged. They don't tip. They don't.
Like when you go to England, you don't tip.
No, yeah, they don't. Yeah, that's true. Okay,
just
valid.
imagine you're in Europe and you'll be fine.
The thing you're hosting, the creature that the Yerk is in, is what deserves the tip. Honestly, that's the driver.
Just imagine Jake's brother is just like, I would give this Yerk 1 star. It's not like he's not considerate.
Hey, he goes through different Yerks during the series. Yeah, it's bad. He gets a bag of Doritos every.
Maybe
now.
The Yerks actually rate the people they're controlling.
Okay,
that's such a good idea.
So like
like an Airbnb for hosts.
Okay. So I have an idea for a future game of Morphs in the Dark where we literally go into the future, into Jake's dream of corporate planet Yerk, and everybody has adapted to the Yerks that have taken over, and that will be a thing. Yerk B&B.
Yeah, I just, there's a lot of space inside this person's head.
I was craving Doritos literally the whole time I was in this body. I was not made aware of this. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
What if like people can like host the Yerk and say, this Yerk brought some really bad cravings from another host, and I really think you should watch out. Not that you have a choice.
Do you think in that world, like, it would be like Uber or Lyft, where like you both rate each other, so you have to be like, Yeah, I mean, like, if I have to be controlled, like, at least let me, like, go outside. But I had to, like, sit here and watch old Lassie reruns because apparently they had, this Yerk had, like, a weird fixation, something. I don't know, but, like, I would not.
Having dreams about
Just-
Lassie now.
Right, I would just say if you're gonna be controlled in the future, like, maybe really like dogs. Like, more than.
Yep. The Yerks, when the Yerk was in my body, I ate so much ice cream, I've been sick for days.
Oh my god.
Like
You
that.
thought Andalites had trouble
I-
on Earth with their mouths.
I told this Yerk I was lactose intolerant, but apparently they just
Right?
don't care.
Nope.
And now they've left, and I have to deal with
To
the
deal with
consequences.
exactly.
Oh my
One
God.
star.
This is bad. Actually, this might be in character conversations that might be happening with your characters, because you know very little about the Yerks and what a future of Yerks, if they happen to successfully invade Earth, it will be catastrophic, to say the least. So, here's the thing. Each of you has 2 downtime actions. And I have written down the available actions you can do in a handout, which I will show to you now. Now, here's the thing. I also get actions for downtime. They are called priority actions, and they are able to be used by visors and subvisors in order to advance their plans for various pieces of your hometown. They could, in fact, interfere with your downtime actions. They could also make future scores more difficult for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just ready up my downtime actions, and you guys will not know what they are doing unless you do certain actions of your own. You could gather information, which could involve like figuring out what the Yerks are doing in a certain area of your hometown, which I will again, I built that too. It's available for you. There is a long-term project, which I guess could involve like setting up a trip where you get to acquire a very rare morph you might want. You also get reduce heat, which you guys can eventually build up into a wanted level, and the more wanted levels you have, the bigger chance there is for the phase of the Yerk invasion to increase or decrease. You could also train, in case you want to level up really fast. And if you're having trouble with a morph, or I happen to make you allergic to a certain morph, you can burp the morph out. That's a downtime action. You could also indulge your virtue to help reduce your current stress, which runs the risk of overindulging, with which there will be some new entanglements that might happen as a result. But essentially, that's the measure of what you guys can do in the time that we have right now. Acquiring assets or acquiring morphs is also a measure of ability that you can do for your team. If you guys know you need a battle morph, or you know you need like some sort of infiltration morph to help get things going.
All right, sounds good. By the way, we don't have any stress or harm or anything, do we?
Nope. I think we just did a very gentle lean into morphs in the dark. So you guys do have a few things available to you, but no stress. I don't think anybody did any stress, except I think Drunkly's the only one that got harmed because his character got shot. So he might be able to heal his harm. That's another thing you can do. You can sort of morph to heal your harm in Morphs in the Dark, and that's usually like an easy thing to accomplish between scenes. But yeah, here's what I'll set up to you guys. You guys know from Icon that the Yerks have a secret Kandrona pool somewhere where they have their basic, like, it's their operation hub, essentially. But they also have a secret Kandrona generator to basically keep making Kandrona to basically feed their forces as they infest and expand out into the world. You do have, let's see, there's one other thing I wanted to do. What was it? Essentially right now, it's just a big, what sort of actions do you want to take in preparation for trying to nail down what is happening? And I believe as we have it right now, Kay, your parents work for a big manufacturing company.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad is one of the engineers. Gavin, was it Gavin's parents that were, one was a 911 operator and the other had a graphic design job?
Those are my mom's.
Your mom's? Okay.
Yep.
I think.
And then Josh had the mom and dad with the dad who was, let's just take a walk in the woods. It's fine, everything's fine. And the mom who's like, what are you doing?
They're your foster family too, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, I can't, wait, who's the foster family?
Wait, or was it Simon?
I'm yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
you
all
feel
of you are adopted.
maybe.
It's decided.
Yeah, I was gonna say, though it's possible. Perhaps I'm, maybe Gavin may be mixed, because I
In Gavin's
Yeah.
mind,
Gavin's dad was.
Oh, now you're praying. Now you're praying for it.
Sorry, I was like, I think, yeah, Gavin might be a
Your
mixed kid.
dad's a burgeoning outdoorsman.
Oh,
I
you
think
can
no
see
sense
an
of
outdoorsman in
self-preservation.
black. It's just, but there was just like a whole bunch of risk taken. I was like, that's not.
oh, there's a gunshot. Let's just
There's a
go
gunshot. Let's go
faster.
towards it
Yes, we're
you know.
hunting.
in the woods.
I kind of wonder. No, okay. I was gonna be like, no, your dad isn't a yerk. You would
No.
know. Gunshot. I wonder what that noise is. What
don't
earth
know.
noise?
That's about
could
the
that
only.
be?
That's the only rationale that I could come up with in reality. Like, as a black man, I was like, "Here's a gunshot in the forest. Let me go figure." You must have a slug inside of your head controlling your actions right now.
So I actually do want a scene eventually where you overhear your parents like talking about that, but I don't know when or where to engage it because I think he does have a reason. But since I do not have the black experience, I don't know if it's appropriate or not. So that's something we may
can
get
talk
to
about
in
it.
the future. So
talk about it off.
I kind of maybe off stream. Maybe I'll bring it to you off stream. We'll
Either way. I mean, I don't mean to. I don't mean to. It seems to be my job now, both as Gavin and Josh, to derail the stream. But but I do think that like when those kinds of situations show up in tabletop, like it can be difficult to figure out how to play, especially if you're trying to GM catering to like an experience that's not yours. And it does make me wonder, like, what are ways that folks have taken care of that as you know, as more experienced tabletop people than me, you know, are those like, hey, I kind of want to like talk to you before the stream, you know, before the episode. There are a couple things I wanted to take on and see if those are reasonable. Is it? Yeah.
You're cutting in and out again, Josh.
It was so much more delightful when everybody was just mice on my channel. I didn't have to deal with Earth politics. I just imaginary mice.
Yeah.
It did remind me. So
It was a perfect world.
Yeah. Fortnite went to a con and there was a panel about diversity in
man.
tabletop. The most ridiculous panel. Do you
It's
know?
kind of silly.
Do you know how
We should get this off stream.
Okay, sorry.
Oh my god, Abby. Remember that time? No, okay, we're not gonna reminisce. We're gonna play a game. We're gonna
Sorry,
play
we're
test
good.
Morphs in the dark. What do you do with your each of you has 2 downtime actions.
Okay.
And what you want to do with them is up to you. You can sort of coordinate. You can your crew also has a special ability with you get +1d to sway attempts to convince someone that the Yerks are real and they need to take action in that direction. But so I think as the truthers, your crew will build up to moments like that. You need to like maybe find the right people that you can make aware of the Yeerk invasion, or you can try to like protect your loved ones by convincing them the Yeerks are real. Various like opportunities for you to use that special ability to your advantage. Because right now you guys know that the Yeerks are in your hometown, but you don't know where or who they are.
Okay.
Considering their priority actions that I just took, that might change.
Oh no!
Well, I think so. Kay knows how to, or Kay has a cockroach morph.
Oh god! Oh, Kay
Right?
has a. Hold on, it's a beetle.
It's a beetle morph.
It's a
Okay.
beetle. Cockroach would be woof.
Yeah. And Gavin has Sunshine, Kay's dog, and Angel doesn't have a morph yet. So I think personally, one of Angel's actions is probably to pick up a morph.
Yeah.
And too. I was thinking about that.
The gorilla, because I think that's a score. Like the battle morph is because the action as it's written is to get a readily available morph
Yeah.
or tool of importance. So probably picking up like an innocuous morph of some kind so we can kind of scout, because
Yeah.
it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on that we need to be able to sneak around and do.
It's a good plan, because there are certain types of morphs that you can acquire. I would say gorilla is definitely battle morph. But to move around, because I think a score centered around getting like a big gorilla for Angel, that's awesome. That's an awesome setup for downtime. Trying to get maybe a small morph or an urban morph or an ugly bug morph is certainly available to you. It all depends what sort of creature you're gonna try to attain. Because again, you have to think you guys go into a zoo. What is the easiest way to get down into the gorilla center?
Right.
I think this is like something your characters can like come to terms with. Like, okay, at the very least, we need to get morphs that are epic. How do we do that? This is like how Blades in the Dark usually starts, is that, well, usually in Blades in the Dark, they're like, how can we sell ghost drugs? I think it's going to be a lot easier in our experience of how do teenagers get into trouble at a zoo?
Pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, like probably scouting around for, because like the zoo, I think we would all think of as the easiest way to get armed up. It's like knocking over an arms dealer, or but we probably need some basic morphs to be able to get into that spot in the first place.
You could either get your parents to take you, which would probably take a sway roll of some sort. You could acquire birds, some sort of morph that can move across distances in a good, fast manner. That's a flyer morph, something that can cover long distances without harassment.
I also have this headcanon because Kay is very, very, like, I feel like all of us want to get kind of some kind of new morph at this point. So do you guys want to plan a trip and then we can talk out, like, how we're going to acquire each animal as a group? Or do we want to do this separately?
I think we can do a little bit of flashbacking too during
Yeah.
the score. So it sounds like getting the morphs is the score that we want to try and pull off.
Mm-hmm.
So then we would engage like at the zoo,
Mm-hmm.
and we could probably pull off. We could probably pull off either talking somebody's parents into driving us over there, or like we do the Stranger Things like kids on bikes deal and just roll up as a squad of like, oh, it's a Saturday and we just decided to go to the zoo for funsies like we used to when we were really small. How ironic.
How old are we again?
Hey, we can't tell you. We can't tell you who we are. We can't tell you where we live. We can only tell you
How
that
old
the
are
yurks
our
here.
characters?
Teens. You're teens.
That's not a number.
That's not a number.
Teens is I imagine
13. 12 is because I believe the Animorphs kids did start when they were like 12, and then 3 years later, that's when the books end, I think.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're babies.
Gavin is 11 teen.
11.
20 teen.
That's cute.
It's that like, oh my gosh, I'm like so close to being a teenager, so I'm going to act as like a teenager because I am a teenager. Mom and Dad, why do you keep telling me what to do? I'm my own person.
Just live my own life. Like until you can pay rent, you don't count. Like, yeah.
But Kay, we just told you to come home by 8.
Mom, how many times do I have to tell you? You just don't understand. I feel trapped here. It's a prison. I need to be free.
We live in a 3-story house.
Do you just not trust me? Is that what it is? Why don't you trust me?
You're my parents and you raised me right. You should just trust me with this kind of thing. Obviously.
We're gonna talk about your grades. Right now, young lady. I know your AR points. I know how many AR points you have.
I don't know what Kay's grades would be like, but apparently there's one. I feel like her, I don't know, she has one class that she hates the teacher, and because of that, her grade in that class is like a D, because she just, no, I'm not doing any homework for him. No, because he's...
Ooh, no homework? Okay, so... what?
Kay could definitely get all A's.
So yeah.
If you wanted to.
I imagine you guys can finagle your way into going to the zoo. What are you gonna do once we get there? Because there is one way we can play Blades in the Dark. We can, like, play it as, like, we just dive into the score. We just go in there, and we set up the scene, and we go through it. And if we need to set up something previously, we do a flashback, which costs stress. But it's sort of like answers the question as the game progresses. It's just a matter of, are you guys going to use your downtime actions to set that up, or are you going to use downtime actions to attend to, like, current life stuff?
I feel like Kay's going to use one action for a morph.
What are you going to acquire?
See, I'm going to have to actually think about that a little bit, because I have a headcanon that, I don't know, because we're at the zoo, I feel like I should get something, or Kay would want to get something super cool, but also I know that I was planning on, like, what's it called, tuning to a scorpion, but I have a headcanon that Kay just has a pet scorpion, so.
Okay, that's awesome. I love that. You have a pet scorpion. Do you want to use one downtime action to acquire your scorpion?
Well, I can acquire to the scorpion anytime. So because we're at the zoo.
Yeah.
Go to somebody else, because I don't know. I don't know what I want yet.
So many choices. The whole animal kingdom is your oyster.
I think Angel is gonna use one of action to pick up a morph. And I kind of like the idea, even though he's the Battleborn, I like the idea of giving him like a slightly unconventional morph, like a crow. And so I think the way he might do that is I've decided he's like a skateboarder, he's like a skate punk. So he probably goes to like the skate park that's outside and like during the skateboarding pretends to like, oh, I'm gonna feed the birds and like try and get one of these things to come over to me. And then by the time he finally gets it into eating out of his hand, he picks up the morph that way.
Yeah. Is that the fuck you crow?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I think he probably like wants to see The Crow, the movie, or like maybe someone snuck him in. So when that came out,
my God.
this time, right?
You're right.
The Crow is friggin' sick. Nobody understands The Crow.
Oh, dear Lord.
So yeah, I think that's totally doable. You spend your downtime action, and I don't think you need to roll a anything in order to gain its trust or anything like that, because crows are greedy. And you, I guess, as it pecks your palm to get Cheetos, maybe,
Yeah.
yeah,
Flaming hot Cheetos.
Oh my god,
For those paw
And-
print ones.
I'm so delighted. You feel what you imagine Kay and Gavin felt. This electric shock of numbness that sort of pulls you away from the world, and you just feel like the only thing in this world is you and this crow, and you becoming the crow. And you just sort of feel like you're in this like free space of free floating as time stands still, as you just feel like a connection is forged from your fingertips as you sort of like touch the crow's feathers. And then a second later it's gone, and the crow is
Zoned out.
zoned out, yes.
Whoa.
And you can go ahead and write down crow.
Cromorph.
Yeah. So you have your first out of 6 morphs that you can have. And that's one downtime action. Whether you choose to morph it or not is a different one.
I don't think we need to do anything else that's here because we don't have any stress to recover.
You could train.
We could train.
You could train.
Yeah, maybe Angel will train by like, since everyone else has had the a little bit of experience running around. I think whether you call like losing your pants and running around a campground experience, like getting
No,
used
that was an experience.
It was an experience. Getting used to like the morph. I think Angel feels like he has to play a little bit of catch up to make sure that like, I think he's got a little self-doubt, like, am I cut out for this big thing? I need to make sure that I prove to everyone else that I can handle my stuff. Because he's got this kind of, you know, protector Napoleon complex. Just a little angry punk kid. So I think I'm gonna train.
Oh, we would never think that about you, Angel.
But he doesn't know that.
So go ahead and mark 1 XP for your playbook advancement. And I think that's a wonderful setup. Yes. Well done. What about the rest of you?
I'm not sure if I want to get like a flying morph, or if I want to. I know I'm going to get. I'm going to, yeah. I want to attune into, or with a alligator.
I guess we live near the marshes.
It's a zoo! The zoos have alligators or whatever.
Okay, so you're going to set up getting an alligator.
Yes.
Okay, at the zoo.
At the zoo.
Okay, so do you like go there to scout ahead of your friends to sort of like figure out where the gorilla place is and getting a sense of like, because again, I think for some of the more dangerous morphs or some of the more like bigger morphs, you do maybe have to do a score, but I'm thinking if you use this downtime action to acquire a morph, if you can set it up rationally, I may let you make a roll to get it.
I forgot about the powerful morph. Okay, that being said, I want to acquire either a skunk or a porcupine.
Ooh. Okay.
Both good.
Both are good.
I think
Okay.
the skunk, especially around here, would probably be the least noticeable, or the most common, I guess.
Or a possum.
Oh, come on. I want something with that, like, I like the idea of the stink in case, like, that
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of, you know what I mean?
I do like
Alright.
that.
Okay, so
Skunk is good.
let's do a thing. So I imagine you live in an area where there's a lot of acres between neighbors, and last you heard, one of your neighbor's dogs was sprayed by a skunk, and you know it's in the area. So if you find it, what I think you need to do is I think you need to make a hunt roll to find it and to acquire it without getting sprayed. So go ahead and just give me a hunt roll. The position is risky,
Okay.
and the effect is standard. I think you're not going to be able to sneak up on this thing, I imagine.
And no bonus dice, so... 4.
Okay. So you're going to get what you wanted. You're going to get the skunk morph. However, your clothes are going to be utterly sprayed. You're going to get sprayed immediately. So you basically corner. Here's the great thing about this particular morph. It will not run away from you. It will stand its ground. Skunks stand their ground because they know they have the ultimate weapon.
It's true.
And so I feel like you're trying to pump yourself up, like, okay, I'm gonna get it. And you just charge at it as it sort of like stands on its hind legs. Its final maneuver, as it stands on its hind legs and it, shows you its big long stripe, raises its tail, and you feel that horrid sudden spray, this mist of noxious material, and you feel your hands clamp around it, and you begin to acquire it. Do you want to resist the harm I'm about to give you?
Yes, please.
Right. So you can resist harms or bad consequences by rolling. I believe you roll your. Whoops. Let's see. Fortune. Oh yeah, you roll resolve, prowess, or insight.
Okay.
Go ahead and use your prowess.
Where's
Because I
that?
feel like you're gonna try to like dodge the spray. Prowess is the ability names. Like you have your actions like finesse, prowl, skirmish, wreck, and prowess is one of the ones that that encompasses them all. And you just click the name prowess on the right side of your character
gotcha.
sheet. I don't think you're gonna have. Ooh. All right.
Oh, sorry.
So you will suffer 2 stress.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah, that's a good way of. solving
And the
that.
stress is just okay. So you've got one.
Yeah, just mark 2 stress.
Hey, I got it, you
And
guys. I'm playing.
that's 1 action. Well done.
Okay, cool beans. I have a skunk, guys.
You have
got
one
skunk?
more.
What you're
Yeah.
saying? You
I
got
come back
She has skunk.
and I reek.
Actually, you avoided the
Oh shit!
spray.
I forgot.
Yeah, you resisted the consequence. So using your agility, your natural human agility, you're able to just sort of grab the skunk and just like lay flat on the ground when it does its handstand, and you dodge the spray.
And then I get the hell out of there because
Yeah.
as everybody knows.
Yeah, you get that sensation of like, I become one with the skunk, and you go into like this space state, and you acquire the skunk and you back out and you escape before it can spray again.
I can.
And
be
you
a skunk.
get on I am the instant messenger chat on AOL
Yeah.
I am, and tell them that you got the skunk.
I have a skunk.
Gross.
I feel like we can actually do the IMs via chat.
I know.
Oh, damn.
right.
The chat becomes like
Boo-doo-doo.
You've got mail.
God, nothing
Hey.
invokes deeper
Hey,
nostalgia.
I can smell you from here.
Impressive. What do you want to do with your last downtime action? You want to train?
No. What I would like is I'd like to try to find out. I don't know, because we said that right now our main focus is this Yerk pool.
Yeah. Or
I
it
would-
could be wherever the Yerks have presence.
I kind of want to try to figure out where the general location of this Yerk pool is, I feel like.
Okay. So that will require a gather information. As I understand,
Is that something I can help with? Because that was something I wanted to do this during my downtime as well.
You could
Is there, like, assist or something like that?
Well, if you wanted to do that, I could either, if you want to do the Yerk pool, I can find out where the presence of the Yerks are within towns. If you want to do, or within the town.
I might be better at that because I can like detect when people
Yeah,
are not
you're
quite
right.
right.
Yeah, true.
Okay. All right.
I think
Yeah,
that'll.
Yerk pool.
Okay, so I think that'll give him like maybe you can do a bonus dice with that +1 because I think that's like an amazing like feature of your character.
Mhm.
Let's go ahead and. Do you want to? How do you want to look for it? Do you want to look for it by like trying to follow people with survey, maybe? Like you tell me what action you want to take, and then using that, I will like sort of create the position and effect.
Yeah. I don't know if this would count as a long-term project, like finding out where the Yerks are or where they're centered within the town. Just because one of my special skills is during downtime, I can get 2 ticks to distribute among long-term projects involving gathering information.
I think this will be a clock for you guys. A long-term project, finding out where the Yerk pool is.
Okay.
So
That sounds right.
I'm gonna start a new clock. It's gonna be 8, and it's gonna be find the Yerk pool. Okay. And you can start getting ticks on that by doing a long-term project.
Cool beans.
So if you get a 6, you get 3 ticks. If you get a 4 or a 5, you get 2 ticks. And if you get a 1 or a 2 or a 3, you get 1 tick. So no matter what, you're going to be and if you get a critical, you get 5 ticks. So here's what I will do. By the way, you guys can use stress during your downtime. You can also use something called the Devil's Bargain, in which I will give you a +1 for a bonus dice if you let me basically make a move. I get to sort of introduce a consequence, or I introduce something new to the situation. So, Abby, do you want to be the first one to tackle this long-term project?
Yes, I would.
Okay, how are you going to do that?
I feel like I guess prowess isn't what would do it.
Oh, these are actions, not abilities.
Oh, sorry. Let me get the action thing up. I totally know what I'm doing, guys.
Tis fine, tis fine.
Oh, so you can use like insight, prowess, resolve, one of those, you mean? Or this is downtime actions, right?
These are downtime actions, so you would
Okay.
use something like survey, consort, or hunt, or prowl, or something like that.
Okay, I probably would use prowl because I'm pretty good at going around
Woof.
unseen.
Okay, so prowl. Prowl about unseen and traverse obstacles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do you think... So, what does this look like as you try to, like, look around to... how are you prowling to find the Yerk pool? How do you find Yerks?
When we were talking to Icon, did he give us a certain situation or a certain like environment that the Yerk pool would be?
Yerk pool icon would tell you that it is likely underground, and because he does have a team of Andalites working for him, he would be able to measure sort of like communications and which area Yerk Z space sensors are going off.
Okay.
So I would imagine he puts it somewhere in which part of the hometown? He will put it somewhere in education, and I think I'm going to like introduce like new hometown things because I know what I want to put them at, but it's not currently there. So go ahead and like you could like choose. I'm going to gather information for the long-term project in community functions or education.
Gotcha.
So like you could like go into the school and sort of try to like as you're in school, you could prowl around the halls and try to intercept like teachers talking about things and see if there's anything yerky about it.
I feel like that's a good idea. Like I feel like Kay would probably just, I don't even know if skip a class, but she's very good at like during lunch, she'll probably go down if there's a basement within the school, just kind of like check things out, kind of try to like awkwardly hang around lockers to hear people's conversations if something's going down.
Hey, I like that. Okay, give me a prowl check. Do you want a devil's bargain for a bonus dice?
Do I want a devil's bargain?
Do you want to push yourself because you have a lot of stress?
No, probably not. I've got 2 stress right now, so.
Okay.
Usually I'm all about those devil's bargains, but not today.
Not today.
All right. Is it risky?
It is risky.
All right.
But the effect will be standard.
Okay.
Actually, the effect will be... Ooh. Okay, a 5 and a 4. So here's what you're going to get. You're going to get, what was that, 2 ticks, I think?
Well,
yeah,
also,
you get 2 ticks, and you get to ask one question. So go to your character sheet and go all the way down.
Okay.
Underneath your mark XP and all that, you'll see gather information.
Gotcha.
If you have any questions there for like that you are like explicitly interested in, I will answer them to the best of my ability. But here's what you're going to get initially. You're going to let me actually make sure that the Yerk pool is marked. There we go. So you skip a class, and you hear a counselor and a student right around the corner where the big theater hall is at, and you sort of try to get closer, and you sort of hide in a doorway nearby of like a janitor closet maybe, and you hear this counselor speaking with a student, and at first it looks like they're probably talking about like a private matter, like something, emotional. Yeah, counselor really. Until you hear them say, essentially, why aren't you? What's the problem? Because, listen, Esplin, it doesn't matter what you're doing in terms of human activity, unless it's bringing more of them to this meeting. We're supposed to have it Friday. And this kid, this young teen with like a backwards baseball cap and sort of like, he looks athletic, like he's probably on the baseball team or something like that. He sort of like crosses his arms and says, I can't just, I have a standard to meet. You get an adult body. I get this body. And me trying to navigate all of this education center and the politics within, it's absurd. If I make one wrong move, my host's reputation is going to be ruined. And at that point, it's useless. And the counselor sighs and says, Listen, just make it sound cool. The sharing is meant to be a unifying and positive presence in the administration. If we don't have students going to it, then we don't have any influence. We don't have any funding. We don't have any credibility. Be cool, as they say. Listen, next time you go down into the pool, maybe put your host in a cage with one of the Hork-Bajir. Maybe that will scare them into doing a better job. Okay? And I hope he can hear this. Because we can do worse. And they disperse. And you see this counselor. You don't know the kid. You don't know that individual. But you do know that this counselor's name, she is, let's see, Miss Holmes.
Okay.
She is Katie Holmes. And she's been a staple of the counselor services available for a while now.
Now, within the community, she's a staple. Does she have a relatively good reputation, both with the kids and the administration, the town, or do the kids not like her and administration, the town likes her? What's her deal?
Her deal is she's been a part of the school as a counselor for probably like 5 years. I don't think you know a lot about her. You probably just know that she has been here long enough to sort of like get a reputation. Like, all the students know that she's like warm and open, and she encourages them to like come talk to her if they ever like need to get something off their chest. And that's been like who she is for the longest time.
Okay.
So she generally seems to be like a receptive individual. Like non-judgmental.
All right. I think I might be able to work with that. Okay.
So that's your downtime actions. Anything else you want to do, or are you set?
Give me a minute to think about it and then discuss it with the group, and then we can see if we're gonna do something that might be crazy.
All right, Gavin. What you got?
I want to ask. I want to check for suspicious people, and I want to get a squirrel.
Okay. Flaming hot Cheetos?
Probably. Yeah. See if there's some, Happy Meals, some extra happy meals out there somewhere.
The happiest meals.
You go down to the local
Turtle, boys.
You go to the Golden Arches.
Happy Meal with extra happy.
That is how Gavin
Classic.
would order it.
It's classic. You will be able to acquire your squirrel morph. It is an urban morph, so it will be very useful in the hometown. If you don't want to get, looked at wrong. So
usually that's the opposite of how urban looks work.
And now you wanted to do what with your downtime with gathering information?
So I think I'm gonna see if I have a general sense for when people are acting kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if I don't know that I would necessarily be looking for weird people, because I feel like we don't really have a sense of where. I don't think I would have gotten the information from Abby yet, so knowing about the sharing or any of that would be I wouldn't know about that. But I would imagine that just over the course of being out doing things, I would be observant enough to tell when somebody's having a conversation that kind of piques my interest, or they're acting in ways, especially now that I have icons kind of like atypical behavior to compare
Oh
to.
my god, yeah.
So I feel like there are other ways that I would be sensitive to people.
You're looking around for X-Files.
Essentially.
Oh, okay. That would likely be a consort role, I imagine, in order to engage in the social dynamics. And the position is going to be risky, but I think it'll be a... I imagine it'll be like a great effect, since you do have your special ability.
Okay. So
You want to take up the devil's bargain?
It's no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't like it. We're gonna do a
That's smart.
consort.
Consort.
Yeah.
Risky? Great.
Okay.
I'm just imagining Gavin, because when I think of consort, I think of like flirting. Like, Gavin, what's up?
Yo.
How you guys do?
Right. It's just use some of that natural charm. Watch me roll like a 1 and a 2.
Ooh. That's a 5. All right.
There we go.
So, here's what I will give you. Do you have any place in the hometown that you want to check?
The arcade.
The arcade? I'm going to go ahead and put that in local businesses. Because Abigator did education, and I think you doing... community functions. Yeah. The arcade is a community function.
Especially for kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to the arcade, and there's one kid who is fucking killing the pinball machine. Like, he is, like, racking up points like nobody's business. And you sort of begin to realize that every single machine has the same initials. AUS. And you, like, just listen to folks, and they're all, like, sort of, like, offended, like, oh man, my Galaga got, like, ripped away. I had the top score, and now this freaking AUS kid just, like, is taking it. He's taking all of it down. And you just see that he's sort of, like, gazing down at his pinball machine, and he's an absolute wizard. And I guess like one of the local kids, like, looks at you and says, "Yo, Gavin, the only way this kid stops winning is if he runs out of quarters."
Sheesh.
It's absurd. So you are going to know that AUS is strange and spends a disturbing amount of time here at the arcade, and he's wearing a shirt that has the sharing on the back of it, like this big friendly logo called the sharing. So you have essentially a suspect that you guys can follow and investigate over future gather informations, who is connected to the sharing, it looks like. So you're going to get 2 more checks, little tick marks on the Find the Yerk Pool clocks.
By the way, so for one of my special abilities, the Acutely Aware, so during downtime I get 2 ticks to distribute among long-term projects involving gathering information.
That's right.
So that's 2 extra ticks. Please and thank you.
Dang.
Oh my god. Okay then.
Boom.
You guys are almost done.
I almost wish I had contributed to this. Could have done it in 1 hit.
You were training. I feel like you're going to need that.
That XP is going to be...
Yeah, my Rocky montage.
All right. So that leaves us with a possible score, right? You guys want to go get a gorilla? And or alligator?
I just got the squirrel, right? Like I just
Oh, no, the score, not the squirrel.
right, but I'm saying but the squirrel is part of my downtime, right? So
Yes.
the squirrel's good. Right?
Readily available morphs will only cost acquire asset during downtime. Things like alligators and gorillas probably
Alligators.
require that. Yeah.
Alligators. Yeah.
Okay.
Alligators. All right. So this hunting ground for this operation sounds like acquisition.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. So the point of the score will involve acquiring an item, morph, or individual that will bring a benefit or access to the crew.
Angel.
What's up?
You're like the strong, silent type. I think I kind of turned to Gavin like, I think that for this trip, you've been talking about that gorilla for a while now. And I can see that you really want to tune to that gorilla.
He just speaks to me, you know? Like, you ever
Yeah.
just see something and you just know that's... You just gotta have it.
Yeah, it's like Philomena.
Is that how you
That's my
out with this cock, though?
Will you stop it? And I kind of I do not stink. Like subtly.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about it until you said
I did.
something.
There's a light, distant aroma, maybe.
Right. It's like I'm probably just giving her a hard time. And it's like
Yeah.
I don't know why you picked a skunk. Why is it a skunk?
Because it could come in handy. We're fighting aliens. I don't know what affects aliens. It could be smell.
True.
What if they don't have noses?
We won't know until we find out.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
We gotta be ready to fight on all angles, I guess.
Okay, all right. I'm fine.
All
I'm sorry.
angles, even the
We're
ass
gonna-
one.
Uh-huh.
Even the
The backside, you gotta deal with that.
I'm just. You know what? It's fine. That's fine. And I like don't. I feel like she's like giving me this look. I like don't morph into a skunk. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's why you don't insult people.
You're gonna set it off
Okay.
just by talking about it, right? That's not what happens, is it?
No.
We're just gonna turn into things when we just think about it. Like,
No.
Do we
Oh,
just
God.
wait? Do we like? What if we change because of the morphs? Like, could I just?
Ooh. You guys were warned about the 2 hour.
it's true.
I was about to say, because I have icons, like memories. Yeah, no, that would be really, 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 really bad. 2 hours is the absolute limit.
Okay, so we gotta be.
Well, we better be
efficient that
quick.
time.
Emotional stress and various things can make that time a bit faster. Because,
Emotional stress and other
emo-
things can make that time faster. Guys,
because I do want to gamify morphine a bit, because there is a morphine clock.
Oh baby.
All right.
You guys-
well,
I imagine you
but we
guys
shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to morph right now, right? We're just like taking a chill trip to the zoo. We're just.
I'm
just
good with. I'm good. However, I kind of want to see what Angel does to get this gorilla.
Yeah, that's really true.
You
Is
guys-
he gonna pet the gorilla?
I'm gonna figure it out when we get there. I'm on this bridge when we get to it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Did you rate your will already, Angel? I know it's typically early for us to think about things like that, but
Yeah, I guess. You
I
can
want
get
your
my
skateboard.
skateboard.
Oh!
Yeah, and Gavin gets my
Oh, there we go.
CDs.
Oh
Okay.
well, okay. I guess I'm good with that. That's cool.
Nobody gets the vest though. This thing's sticking with me.
I'm in the
has-
gorilla
Vest
man
with a
with the
giant King
vest. I
Kong
didn't get
patch
this
on the
right.
back.
I have a feeling it has a bunch of patches on it
Yeah,
too, and
yeah.
just buttons all over it.
Buttons,
Yup.
pin, yeah.
Tremendous. Okay.
And that gorilla's gonna be wearing that vest.
Can it No, because we've saw with you, you morphed out of your clothes. What if we had
I
like a cool
I-
morphing?
So I
outfit.
didn't actually morph out of my clothes. I just felt
Oh,
a
yeah.
little chained up. I kind of don't want to talk about it actually.
I'm just imagining you being like so restrictive.
Learning so much.
I just, sometimes you don't ever feel that way. You're just like, what? I need to break free. Like they don't just.
Yeah, usually it
doesn't-
involves me keeping my pants
Oh.
on.
Kay is
Yeah,
only
I
11
guess
or
some
12,
people
so I can't say anything about bras, but if she were older, she would. You don't understand. You didn't know about this. Every time the song just plays in the background when you get home. Alright, sorry, go on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll just walk around and maybe we can find a way in if somebody's like helping with the gorillas, and maybe you can like sneak in.
Well, like, yeah, I'll just jump into the enclosure or.
Wait. Okay, so Kay, I know I just talked all that smack about that skunk morph.
Go
but-
on.
That might be a really decent way to get everybody to clear out of the gorilla area.
Yeah, before they start chasing the rogue skunk that somehow got into the gorilla enclosure.
What if
It's like a,
what
like
if
a
you're
smoke
what,
grenade.
what if you're just like up high and you're just like and then that's how it works, right? You just
no,
you just
'cause,
aim
like,
and fire. Like
If you like pop it and then you like run around the corner and then you turn back into yourself because they're gonna be looking for a skunk, but there's no skunk.
but there's no
Got it.
song.
The skunk, dude.
I just like reach out to like fist bump Angel. Like
Ugh.
ugh. Right? Or just like look expectantly at Kay. Like
I wonder if like skunks can actually control this, or if it's just like when they feel threatened, they have no control. They're just like a fart, like away.
God.
I don't know. I haven't taken biology yet.
right.
They can control it.
Okay.
They can because they use threatening displays before they.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think we know how or what it feels like to have anal scent plants.
No. Okay. Guys. Yeah. I guess I can do that. If we don't have any better ideas.
Once we're in 2, I might be able to get into part of the back ways. Like, don't they have like passages that only the zookeepers can get into? I might be able to jimmy jam one of the locks or something. Get my way in
We
that
just-
way.
But like how are we gonna make sure that this gorilla doesn't like but it should be friendly, right? Like it's
Yeah,
a
well,
domesticated gorilla. Like we'll just bring some bananas. This should be fine. Right? Just give it a banana and
I guess it'll probably be fine. And once I get my hands on it, if it's anything like what happens to the rest of these animals, it'll just be chill. It'll be fine.
Sure. That. Well, how about we watch somebody in the gorilla enclosure first to see how they interact?
we walk in and it's like somebody is being mauled. we walk out of this
They like have a really long second pushing the food towards.
God, how did I have to work with Coco again? I hate this job.
Well, yeah, that's the
Where-
fourth guy that we've lost in the last 2 months.
Harambe, please.
I think we have a plan.
Seems like it.
All right.
It's not a
And-
good
and-
one, but we have a plan.
If things get super absurd, I can use I can turn into a squirrel, and I can distract the gorilla by running around like as a squirrel. I should be pretty fast.
Sure.
So, I mean, mind you, I'm gonna be a squirrel, so if it catches me, like I'll become a pulp. But I mean, like,
But then also, if they catch a skunk in the gorilla enclosure and keep the skunk at the zoo and I'm not able to change back, then I'm just stuck with anal glands, stink glands, forever.
well, I mean, that's true. That I don't have a counter to that.
Yeah.
There's
Realize
more to a
what I
We're,
skunk
we're all
than
taking
for
this.
this.
we're all taking risks.
And
One might say this is risky.
I think our position is at risk.
it might be desperate.
I wouldn't go that
Certainly
far.
not a controlled situation.
Don't give me ideas.
So one
Right.
of you has to make an engagement roll in order to help us set the position for this delightful moment in time. Oh man.
Is engagement a skill? Are there
think-
people who are good at engagement?
It was somewhere up here. Where
It's
was
in
it?
crew mode on your character sheet.
I see. Okay. So one of you roll engage. Let me actually see what this. Okay, so wait a second. Okay, ignore that. So yeah, we just decide if you guys get bonus dice or not.
Yep.
Okay, so for bonus dice,
We don't get one for the ground type because we specialize as truthers in exposing and disruption.
unfortunately, yeah, you don't get one of those. You can spend crew XP to get a new hunting ground eventually once you get enough. Okay. So who wants to do the fateful engagement roll? And
Well,
do you guys
I
want to
think
take
I'm the one most likely to stay?
Okay.
What? It's
Uh,
kind of
That makes sense.
it's kind of Angel's focus, right?
That's true. If we're trying to get me the morph, then maybe I'm the one that's kind of been pushing everyone to kind of try it, which kind of makes sense, right? Angel, I think, is a little bit of a loose cannon.
Mm.
Now that he's got a taste of the crow, he's like, no, I need more, and I need to be big, and I need to be bad, because that's how we're gonna win this.
Gotta be bad.
So there are a
Gotta be
few ways you can get bonus dice by answering a few questions. Is the operation particularly bold or daring?
I think so.
Probably.
I think so too.
Yeah, probably.
Is the operation overly complex or contingent on too many factors?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so that's minus 1d.
Yeah.
Does the plan expose a vulnerability of the target? I don't think so, because it's acquisition. Is the target strongest against this sort of approach, or does it have any particular defenses or special preparations?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
It's the 90s.
Can anybody can jump into a gorilla pen? Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid?
Probably just the friends we brought with us.
Yeah, so no.
Oh, so we. So
Are there
it's
any
a-
interferences from rivals or enemies? I don't think they even know you exist.
Nah.
Nope.
And then, are there any other elements or tiers that might involve stopping you from doing this? And I think no.
Yes.
There is?
Yes.
Oh!
I could be stuck forever with anal.
I mean,
Yeah, but that's
All of us could
that's
I was gonna say
that's for a
what?
clock. That's for a clock. I wouldn't say that's like an immediate element as you guys enter the zoo.
I think
So I
I
will give you guys a devil's bargain, maybe.
I would vote that we get a bonus die because we're all super excited about our first mission as a team
Yeah.
of animal morphers. Except for the one who's actively concerned about being stuck with anal stink glands.
True. Okay, so I will give you a +1 in that case. Do you guys want a devil's bargain?
I kind of think that I do.
Yeah, let's do it.
Trust me, forced devil's bargains are usually
Josh,
interesting.
if you want, you can get another +1 on this engagement roll, and in return, I get to put one of my yerks there.
Ooh.
Oh, you're not putting Yerk anywhere, please.
I'm not. Nah, I'm not. I mean, I'm not about it.
Okay. All right.
Not about it. I want us to stay undetected.
Yes.
I would
well,
know if they were there, but nah, not worth it.
Okay. Go ahead and make your engagement roll with +1.
You got this.
Wait, am I roll?
Yeah,
rolling?
go to your
Oh.
go to crew mode and then
okay.
roll it with a
Does everybody
+1.
roll their own engagement, or is
Mm-mm.
I'm doing the
It's-
one engagement for everybody?
This is for everybody.
Okay, and so number of dice is just one.
Yep. It's bonus dice.
Okay, because it just says number of dice. So
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Oh
Well,
no!
I guess that's all I needed.
It actually is rolled by the GM. But it turns out you guys did just fine with that. I kind of like it if you I kind of like it if you guys make the fortune roll for engagement. I think it's
that's cool.
pretty cool.
That's kind of fun.
So let's begin. You guys are gonna luckily be in a controlled position. It's amazing. You guys got a
Bless.
wonderful result. So every roll from now on until something goes wrong is gonna be at a controlled position.
Sweet.
So
Cool.
that means you guys.
we just planned this out just that well.
Yep. You guys are going to enter the zoo, and you're going to basically set up what's going to happen next. So, number one, your goal of this score is for Angel to acquire the gorilla in the gorilla pen. There's luckily going to be a single gorilla pen with a single gorilla in it. So like your opportunity is there.
Excellent.
Angel, you're gonna have to find a way to get into the pen to acquire this guy without running into any foul stuff, as in like, you know, getting caught before you can jump in.
Right.
What is you guys will probably have to create a distraction.
I liked that skunk plan, to be honest.
If
Okay,
that's
guys.
the case, Abby, you would have to make an attune roll somewhere out of sight.
Do that. I feel like Kay kind of goes in to the women's bathroom, leaves her clothes in a very like, I know where they are.
Like on the hook?
Yeah, but in like a certain. I feel like it would be out of sight. I wouldn't want somebody to come by.
Where out of sight in the bathroom? In the trash can?
Ugh. How about?
That's all I can think of. In the little tampon dispenser.
I was about to say I can try to clean out the tampon dispenser as best as I can.
As best as you can.
Move the bag somewhere else and then kind of stuff my clothes in there.
Okay.
So hopefully nobody uses it. Dear
Okay.
God.
Smart. Okay, that's really smart. And then you start morphing skunk, right?
Yes.
Make an attune roll at controlled positioning and with great effect. This is gonna be amazing if it works. Do you want to use any stress for bonus dice or take a devil's bargain?
You've already got a devil's bargain going that I don't know what's gonna go on, so no thank you.
3.
Uh,
Okay. This is gonna be interesting. So you enter into a bad moment. You morph the skunk, and you do you want to describe the morph, or do you want me to?
I feel like I can all of a sudden. I feel like Kay feels these pinpricks, kind of along her
fur.
body, because you start seeing the hair on her arms is becoming really thick and
Black.
coarse, and it's like the hair follicles are almost forcing themselves to grow as this fur kind of starts to sprout all over her. As she's crouched down, you can hear the cracks as her bones, like especially in her hands, somehow it's smaller and compact together.
Yeah, it's
And
like
you see her-
like a compressor.
Mm-hmm. So you see her almost they're growing, almost like growing into themselves to make these little tiny paws as little ears, like kind of, I don't even know how to no, her ears would
Yeah.
probably go. It's
Maybe
just
maybe
it's terrifying.
maybe like your hair like starts to like get like pressed down and turns white, and like it becomes that stripe that goes down your back.
I almost feel like her hair, like her regular hair, would like fall out as the skunk hair is kind of like pushing in.
And
Her eyes
immediately
get smaller.
your mind is introduced to the skunk mind. And as you waddle out from under the stall door, you feel no fear. I say again, you're skunk.
No fear.
And you march out of the women's bathroom and into the zoo public corridor where the gorilla site is located. And to everyone's dismay, you immediately see one child like see you running up, yelling, "Kitty!"
Eye contact. The
Eye
tail
contact.
goes up.
Tail goes up, and this kid gets. Oh man, it's bad, and immediately people start screaming, and the kid is lying on the ground, like just like howling with like tears, and he is scooped up by his dad, and everybody is starting to just run everywhere in panic, and they're coughing. One person vomits, and you, Gavin and Angel, see the distraction is working just perfectly, but
I'm kind of toddling around.
but it is working faster than you expected. If you don't do your actions quickly, you're gonna miss this opportunity because people are gonna notice that you're the only ones in the area with the skunk. So what do you do?
Yo, freaking go.
Okay, I gotta be cool. I gotta act cool.
Do you see the entrance?
Oh yeah, the gorilla is like just like sort of sitting watching all this.
Where's everyone going? So the best way in is what, like vaulting into the pen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna YOLO it. Angel looks around for people, like, is anyone looking at me? No,
They might.
probably
They,
not.
if they are looking at you, they probably think you're trying to escape the skunk. You'd rather go into
Right.
the gorilla pen with the gorilla than
Right.
than face the skunk.
So I like whip around and then just whoop, and try and like 3-point land as best as I can.
Okay.
I just like look over like
You see this skunk
Does that look
almost like staring at this, stock still, staring at this idiot. Like,
Jesus, this is great. How are you going to acquire the gorilla? Because I think that's going to set up what happens when you make your 3-point landing.
Yeah, I think Angel probably did bring a banana.
oh my god.
I think Angel's knowledge of how animals work and live is not particularly good. Like, he watches TV, but
do you watch Animal Planet?
He didn't grow up with zoo books. He should have subscribed.
Just watch all the commercials.
Right.
I do both. Dolphins.
Probably wanted them but never read anything.
That's how I was growing up. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, like pulls out the banana and like reaches out with it, and he's like slowly approaching, like, hey, do you want this? Are you hungry? Can I? It's good. It's good. Banana. Peel it. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you
Don't
get
you're
closer,
saying, don't do that.
yeah, Gavin is coaching you from up above, and this gorilla is just sort of like,
looking down. What are you? And how are you gonna get out? Oh God.
make. What action do you want to use for this? This is going to be important.
Oh God.
Well, I'm good. I'm good with command, but I think Angel is intimidated enough by the gorilla to not try and like force it over. I think this is sway.
It sounds like sway.
He's trying to like pull the gorilla over, and then like I think his in his head he's like, oh, I'll just go in, I'll put the banana out, it'll come over because it's a gorilla and it likes bananas. It will take the banana and I will like pick up the morph as it's reaching out.
Okay.
Tap it on the shoulder and
You're gonna do an Arya Stark.
yeah.
You can give it the banana and be like, hey.
Yay! Hey! Let's do it! Alright, roll your sway.
Okay, my
Do you
sway is
wanna-
non-existent, so I'm gonna push myself.
You're gonna push yourself with
Take
your
2
stress. Okay.
for a bonus die.
Do you want a devil's bargain?
Yeah.
As a devil's bargain, what can I do? As a devil's bargain, you're going to... What to do? There's just so much and also so little because there's such a panic. As a devil's bargain, there's going to be... There's going to be trouble. But it's not going to be Yerk trouble. It's going to be...
Human trouble.
Maybe
Gorilla trouble.
human trouble. Yeah, I think it's going. I was ready to just. Does Abigator or Josh have a suggestion? This. Okay. I know what to do. I know what to do. Now I do. You're going to realize. This is not the only gorilla in the pen.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. Yep.
All right. You get a +1. 2
do
plus 1. So that's 2 dice when you had 0.
All right.
Oh man, this is gonna be perfect.
So because
it's standard
Mhm.
because Abigail got a 3. You're kind of panicked because there's people screaming behind you. It's gonna be risky position, standard effect.
okay. Because I get the bonus dice, do I click on the bonus die button
Yes.
and then click on sway?
Yes. No, you click sway, and then you click
Risky.
risky, standard, and then it'll take you to bonus
Yep.
dice after that.
Just put
Okay.
2.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 bonus dice. Oh, baby.
Ooh, that's bad.
Yes!
That's
God
bad.
help us.
That's
It's going
bad.
exactly as well as I thought it would, to be honest. Which makes for great story.
Good lord. This is amazing.
Oh no.
All right.
Oh no.
The gorilla, you're going to reach out, and the gorilla, it seems amicable. Yes, it does want the banana. So does the other one. And before you realize what's happening, the second gorilla in this place goes and it comes straight towards you, barreling, and you are tossed aside like a sack of potatoes as the two gorillas begin to brawl over the banana that is now cast aside. You do get an opportunity now to acquire them. Actually, I think here's what I think happens.
Mhm.
You kind of have to skirt around the edge of this battle now that is happening between these two gorillas. And you see there is a door on the far side of the gorilla pen. But you could, do you want to resist the consequences, by the way? Because
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
would
going to
be
let you
fun.
acquire this thing.
Yeah.
You will have to make another roll to acquire it.
Yeah.
But you can, if you resist the consequences, I may let you do that. And
I'm gonna resist the consequences.
okay, so roll your insight, I think.
Insight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you made a sway roll. No, resolve.
Resolve, yeah.
Yeah, do your resolve because I feel like you need to muster your courage mustered your courage.
Okay, I'll try to catch up to the rest
Yeah.
of the party.
So yeah, this will be insight.
Okay, so that's resolve.
No,
yeah,
resolve. I keep saying insight. It is resolve to resist consequences.
With 1 die.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay, so you take 1 stress.
Okay. Whew.
So you're going to be able to acquire this thing. You, instead of like an instant like scream and a terrible like fight happening, like literally you're in the middle of it. Instead, you hold out the banana and then you notice the other gorilla behind you, and it's beginning to get upset. And you realize, I have to get this acquirement right now. And you sort of like, as this gorilla in front of you is reaching out, you grab its hand and you start acquiring it immediately. And then you discover that you're flying through the air and you're knocked aside, and now the battle is brewing in full contest. But you have acquired the gorilla morph.
There are people running around screaming. There's 2 gorillas in the gorilla pit, like fighting against their lives for this banana. There's a skunk just standing next to this kid watching the gorilla fight going on.
I just look at Kay. I'm like, Kay, go.
I turn towards Gavin, and then I turn towards the gorillas, and then I turn towards Gavin,
It's like,
and then I kind of waddle off.
Oh man. You're breaking up, sadly,
No!
Josh. No! Angel,
Yeah.
what are you doing now?
I think Angel's looking at the fight, looking up, and hearing all the chaos, and wants to try and get out
How?
because he's pretty sure he's got the morph.
Okay.
So he's gonna like just book it for
Towards the pen
for the
door?
door. Yeah, and just headlong. Like if a gorilla comes, he's gonna figure it out. If the gorilla comes at him, but he's just gonna go for the door and pray that it's unlocked.
Let's make a fortune roll and find out.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I hope somebody's bad at their job at the zoo.
I think I'm gonna roll 2 dice.
Okay.
A 5. Okay. The door is not unlocked, but as you reach it and you begin to panic when you realize it's not locked, it'll open, and there will be a zookeeper on the other side, just like staring at you with like he's a little bit upset, and he just goes, "What are you doing down there?"
I
Oh
fell-
oh my god! And he pulls you through and slams the door instantly and locks it, and just he looks to you. What were you doing down there, kid? Are you crazy?
I fell. I was looking for my mom because there was a skunk got out and like everyone freaked out and they were running all over the place, and I was trying to find my mom, and I tripped and I fell into the pit, and oh my god, I gotta get back because I gotta find her. She's gonna be so worried about me.
Make a sway roll.
Yeah, I'm pushing myself for a bonus.
This is
Yeah.
this is a desperate, by the way. So
Yeah.
mark XP for resolve.
Okay.
Desperate, standard.
Okay. Desperate standard effects. Bonus.
Do you want to
dice.
take stress and take a devil's bargain, maybe?
I will risk the devil's bargain for another die on this one.
He's a yerk.
Oh,
That's
baby.
the devil's bargain.
I'm into
No.
it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Hey y'all, I play it like I stole it.
I love it. Oh! Oh! Oh my god! You see on his name tag, it says, "Hello, my name is Charlie. I'm happy to meet you." He's a Hispanic man with sort of like a wonderful, like, crisp beard, and he looks rather like he looks really fit. He looks like he's not fit enough to wrestle a gorilla, but he probably gets a lot of like good workout.
He lifts.
And he lifts. And you imagine it's part of the reason why he's sort of like in this career, because he's working back here. You see there's a lot of like crates of like fruits and meats, and this corridor that you're in is basically like sort of like a connection between all of the habitats. So like they can prepare a lot of the foods. They can get access to most of the pens from here, and
That's not good.
you see him sort of roll his eyes and sort of look down at you. Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, let's go find this skunk then. And he tells you to follow him, and he says, "Well, at least you didn't do anything crazy back there. Are you hurt?"
I don't know. I think I rolled my ankle or something. I'm like rubbing my chest because I guess the gorilla like knocked the wind out of me, right?
Nah, you got like a scrape. You're fine.
Oh,
So, listen. You fell.
yeah. I tripped and I fell into the pen because I was looking around and I was running away because everyone was just pushing everybody else out of the way. It was
So
crazy.
it was an accident.
Yeah.
God, son of a. Okay, we'll have to write a report.
Guardrails are just not big enough.
Can you? What's your name, kid?
Yeah.
Make up a name. Make up a name on the spot.
Carlos.
Carlos.
Do you actually say it like that? Carlos.
Carlos. And he waits. He waits a moment. I need your last name too. We're not going to the arcade for a play date.
Oh, sorry. Walker.
Carlos Walker. Okay. And he sort of rips up. Oh no, he doesn't rip. He sort of like takes out a little checkboard and sort of flips a few papers and starts writing on the back of one of them, and says, "Okay, listen. If you come back here, just tell them Charlie gives you a big thumbs up apology. Maybe we'll give you like a free free hot dogs or something like that as our means of apology. Okay, just don't make a big. We don't want people to go crazy about a kid falling in a gorilla pen.
No, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want that either.
I'm sure you don't want the publicity.
No, I mean, honestly, I'm I'm not this kind of kid. Like, I don't usually get in trouble and stuff. I'm just kind of.
You see down the corridor, coming around the corner, because this corridor is sort of like a round, sort of like you could only sometimes see what's around the corner. You see coming around the corner is a tall, green reptile on two legs with several spikes jutting out of its body. Long sides of some dark, bony material. You only see it for an instant before it backs away very quickly.
Yeah, I don't usually. This kind of thing doesn't happen to me.
No, I imagine not. So let's get you out of here, okay? Because this isn't a tour, all right?
What? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm just real shaken up. I gotta sit down or something and like get some water. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, yeah,
Let's go. Let's go. The
And he
sooner I
takes you
get out of
back.
here, the better.
Abby, what are you doing?
As soon as Gavin was like, go, what are you doing? Go. Kay and her skunk self just kind of casually
Waddles.
back to the restroom, back to the stall that she used to
Okay.
unmorph and get her clothes on.
Okay. You do so. And luckily, by the time you come back out, Angel's there, and several zookeepers are hunting for the skunk and also trying to get rid of the smell, especially trying to console the poor child who ran up to you with
Kitty!
and
Kate, that was like point blank. Did you have to just like? I swear I saw that kid fly backwards.
He was going to grab my tail. Do you know how disgusting kids are? What kind of shit they touch?
You lit that kid up, though.
It's fine. It's just stink. It's not like I actually physically hurt him.
And I just like look over and see this kid like bawling.
Red
oh no,
eyes.
my eyes! My eyes!
Totally fine.
It's like, remind me not to make you angry. You know.
Kind of nods, and I feel like as As they pass this kid, the part of her skunk brain that's still like up kind of narrows her eyes at this kid that's sobbing,
Mm-hmm.
like growls a little bit under tiny growl, high growl, or hisses. I don't know what skunks do.
They bark, sort of. They maybe like,
As I keep going.
Angel, did you get it?
Well, I got it all right. And
Better have got it.
looks around. Something's wrong here. Dude.
Like what?
Aliens.
I turn to Gavin. I kind of lift up my eyebrows, like, we've known, we've been new. We know things are.
No, like here. There's aliens here.
Wait, there's a
There's
Yerk.
different aliens.
What do you mean, different aliens?
He's like looking really, really nervously looking around, like grabs both of them practically, I think, by the shirts and like pulls them like into like behind a corner. Like I saw. Okay, I got the thing. I jumped in. I got the thing. Pro tip: gorillas don't like bananas. Also,
it looked like they liked it.
well, yeah, I guess, but like that was
I'm sorry. No, you're right.
They like to
not my
cheat.
best plan.
Amazing.
But it looked cool as heck when I jumped in there. But when I was down there, there was this guy, and he was really like up in my face. And then when we were walking out the back way, I saw this giant green dude with like spikes and stuff coming off of him. Like he looked like a Mortal Kombat character.
You see Kay's eyes get real big. Oh shit, it's the Hork-Bajir.
The bless you.
The Huckahoo. What?
The Horkabork. Whenever I see, because I can't spell out Hork-Bajir, I'm always like, Hork, you know? It's like the Swedish chef.
Yeah,
Horkabork.
the Horkabork.
No, the Hork-Bajir. It's, and again, keeping our voices down, making sure that we're not overheard at all.
Certainly not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to like roll a check for that or something? Like I just want to make sure. Like we.
Score is
that-
done. You guys get
Oh,
out
okay.
clean. Let me do a quick note. We need to do XP. You guys are gonna get 2 heat for this.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
One because skunk
Yes.
and panic and whoa. The second because Angel, you did interact with a Yerk
Yep.
and possibly may have seen more than you wanted to, but they don't suspect you at all. But they do know that there's something weird going on as of late, especially in this. It seems that they must have some investment in the zoo here. So from there, all I need from you guys is to do you guys have anything else to say in this scene other than it's the Horkabork?
Well, that, and then I probably would relay to them the conversation that I heard at the school
Yeah.
with the guidance counselor. They were talking that they had a Hork-Bajir who was going to upset a kid. But from my memories of Hork-Bajir, they don't naturally just attack people like, they're peaceful. They're peaceful people.
Yeah.
They're peaceful people, but
Almost controlled.
the
They're
Yerks
controlled.
have turned them against their nature.
Yeah. I don't know how long, if it's been the activity or you're controlled. Also, they were talking about having a bunch of kids come to an event on Friday called The Sharing. It seemed super important. Like, super important.
The Sharon?
The
That
Sharing.
church group.
There's some weird kid. Like I mean, I play video games, but this dude's like on a completely different level, and just was like wrecking all the arcade high scores, and he was wearing a shirt from the sharing. I didn't. I know it sounds weird, but like sometimes I just get a bad feeling.
Did you get a bad feeling about that dude?
Real bad, like real bad. We might need to look into the sharing.
Okay. No, for sure. But what I think is we should try to make the sharing seem as uncool and just the most ridiculous thing people have ever heard of, because they're trying to get the kids to be like, oh yeah, the sharing community event. I want this to go the total opposite way. Also, if that counselor is you're controlled, which I'm pretty sure Miss Whatever, we need grown-ups not to trust her either. I may have a plan. It might be kind of crazy. So we need to convince one of our parents that this counselor advised us about something ridiculous, something that they would not approve of, that this counselor had been counseling us to, like, oh no, I just talked to Miss Whatever, and she said that explore my sexuality all I want, and don't use condoms. I don't know what the equivalent of that to an 11 or 12-year-old would be.
I was gonna say, I was like, that would be bad advice for a 12-year-old.
Yes.
That would, yeah.
That maybe, like, if this is a very religious town, like, if you don't believe in God, that's okay. That's totally fine. Just
down here in my conservative culture.
It sounds like something that if I told my parents would call the school about, actually.
Especially in the 90s.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
It sounds like that's a good plan for next time when we pick this
Definitely
up.
a good score.
Yeah, that like all of that is a good score. I think right now we can go ahead and give you guys some XP. So you go ahead and mark down 1 XP for each of these. Did you guys play your playbooks? I think, Angel, you did not fight. You did not wrestle a gorilla.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame you.
Yeah.
It was probably a good thing.
Yeah. I could have wrestled the other dude, but I wanted to keep it quiet.
Good.
True. What about the rest of you? What were your playbook
I think
XPs?
I was hitting the Joker up pretty well.
Oh, yeah. I think it was pretty funny.
I was getting kind of weird with the, like, just in the back, listening to conversations. No problem. Yep. I'm just going to become a skunk and make everything...
The greatest outcast of all.
I acquired a skunk. Who voluntarily acquires a skunk?
I honestly, like Simon, now that you have your gorilla morph, it's going to be amazing to play with. So we go to the next one, which is you expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I feel like I need to edit that more, since I feel like it should be like maybe... I don't know. I think it should be more like camaraderie, like you showed like an active unity in the face of danger, I guess. So I think just the fact that you guys planned this out very like neatly and pulled it off, I think you should get an XP, each of you, for that. I feel like this is like you guys deserve XP for trying. Did anybody struggle with issues from any traumas or vices? I don't think so, because that's not a part of the game. Again, I think this one should be changed for Morphs in the Dark. I think it should sort of help reconcile maybe what you do in response to like your friends, your families, I think maybe it should be you get XP every time you sacrifice something you would normally do in your normal life for the Yerk fight. I think I'm gonna work that out.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I could also see if it were like you took a risk to help another team member, and like even the traumas thing could work out later on. It's just like with this being so early in the campaign,
Agreed.
we haven't done anything yet. You
Like,
know, so I mean, even you know, if Angel had like nightmares about the Hork-Bajir or whatever, because they don't have any reason they don't know what's going to happen or whatever.
Or the gorillas. Like,
Right.
Yeah, or the gorillas.
He has
Yeah.
dreams about what would have happened if, like, he wasn't able to have the door open for him.
That's pretty traumatizing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how much stress do you actually have, Angel?
Right now, I am sitting on 3.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be worse.
I think it's actually more because I pushed myself. I think it's 4. No, wait.
Pushing
hang on.
yourself costs 2, so it
Costs
might be
2. So
5.
I did it first for the sway to get the gorillas, then just bluff my way out. Plus 1 for the resistance. So I'm actually at 5.
So you definitely might
I'm
get...
very close to getting that trauma.
Yeah,
You
you're
need
you're
to
close
indulge
to
in
that.
a vice next session.
Virtue!
Virtue.
Yeah, so I think XP, each of you gets 2, and Abby and Josh get 1 more, so you 2 get 3, and then the crew gets 2 heat, and I'll attend to that. There we go. Is there anything else you guys need to cover before we end the session? Because honestly, I'm like pumped. Like, oof.
Thanks for another great game.
Yeah, agreed. Let's go ahead and do outros. Abby, you want to go first?
Sure, I can go first. One, as always, I love this game. I love learning this game. I love playing with these people. It's just thank you for inviting me. My name is Abby, also known as Abigator Frenzy. You can find me on Twitter. You can also find me on Tuesday. That's going to be the last one in that, so you don't need to know about that. So you can also find me on Scraticus's channel at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing Fading Footsteps, which is a 5e Dungeons & Dragons campaign with 2 permanent casts, including myself and Scrat, and 2 rotating places. So if you want to play with me, always sign up for that. And just saying, I feel like it's a draw, right? Who doesn't want to play Dungeons & Dragons with me? Because I'm so cool.
You are cool. Josh!
Hey, I'm Josh. You can find me on Twitch or Twitter at Wallstormer. I run a site called IntelliGame. It's a game culture criticism site. You can find more about it on any of your social media. Well, actually, that's not true. Because we're not on Snapchat. I don't know. I know. So you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at IntelliGameUs. That's IntelliGame. It's like intelligent, but with game at the end. And you can also find the main website at intelligame.us.
Splendid. Simon.
Hello, I'm Simon, and this was a lovely session, and I had a lot of fun pushing the limits. That's always a good time. You can find more of my shenanigans on Twitter at Lucha Libris, and if you're in the greater Boston area, please do come up and check out my live-action role-playing game. It's called Attaway, a deco-punk game about running magical hooch during a time of prohibition. You can learn more about that at attawaylarp.com, and you can follow our production company, Enkindle Storytelling, at Enkindle_LARP, I believe. And that's what I will be doing next weekend, is running our first event of Season 2 all weekend long. So looking forward to hearing what happens after that.
That's amazing. And I'm for and I am a horse groom, full time. The equestrian center is much safer now that I am there, and have been there, and will continue to be there until I am bitten horribly by ammo. I should have
Yeah,
broke-
don't
oh,
do that,
man.
and don't break your collarbone either. Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
I'll try not to break my collarbone. We had one of our employees held on to one of our naughtiest horses for too long, and he decided to bolt, and she went.
You gotta be careful with those horses. They are
she's-
dangerous
she's-
sometimes.
She's healing. She's healing. And then I go to Austin, who begs for belly rubs. He's like, please, I am 28. On my belly, please. And it's just perfect. So there's like the good and the bad, and that's really all I have for you, because I'm making this Morphs in the Dark game. That's kind of what I'm focusing on, but as you might imagine, work and overtime and other life stuff. But I am more than pleased to have this happening, and I'm super grateful for you three and Drunkly, who I believe will be with us next week. We'll see you folks later, and enjoy your time until we see you again on the forefront, alright? Fairly well. Yayo.